Yo, it's me Tawfii. Welcome to part 2 of Let's Build a Zoo, I think this game was called. I really enjoyed the last episode, to be fair. I have to pause it every time I go in, because immediately when you go in, it kind of just automatically starts up. I don't really want to do progress outside of a video, because it kind of ruins the aesthetic of it. It seems as though we have an applicant here, so let's view the current applicant then. $50 to $70 as a salary from Janelle. Low rating, but I think we're going to hire them. Because we need to get a janitor in order to complete one of our tasks. I feel like completing our tasks here is like the first sort of ideal way to go about the game, because we need to get visitors, we need to get animals, and we also needed to get a janitor. But now that that is done, I think we should focus on getting animals, because of course animals are very important. And it looks like we have a baby rabbit here. Looks like our rabbit has our rabbit population has increased. So let's go ahead and go around the rabbit enclosure with some tiles just to make it look a little bit nicer. Let's also do the same on this side. It looks like we're gonna save the game right there. Ooh, you have an animal in your zoo that can trade with another zoo. Okay, interesting. I think, first of all, the first step, I suppose, will be to kind of create a, create like a hub in the center. I feel like having a hub for anything in the center is good. So let's get a fountain, and let's kind of just put it right here. It's not in the, well, oh, actually I could just change it just a little bit so that it's more in the direct center. And then we can get our floor tiles out, and we can kind of just go ahead. You can see Janelle in the top there, our janitor, working hard or hardly working, depending on whichever one they want to do. Let's also make sure that we get a bin, so we can put one up there, and then we need the lights, so let's get one up there, as well as one just here on both sides. I like having symmetry. I like being able to sort of see the symmetry. Just also just put another bin there, and yeah, perfect. So we're gonna have this is in the complete wrong place. It needs to be one lower. There we go, perfect. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and start working on our next enclosure. I feel like we could put it just here. So the bench here sort of needs space. So in order to sort of give it enough space but still have it give something to look at, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sort of make like a nice small enclosure there, with the entrance being up there for the keepers. And now I just need to go ahead with our tiles and kind of go around it, just so that it has the accent of the, I believe that's the right word for accent of the grey tiles underneath. It is just a tiny bit open, but that's okay. And then we can put our little water pump there. But obviously, first of all, before we get animals of any kind, we need to add an object such as a water basin. A water basin is very, very important because it basically gives our animals water, which is very, very important, as well as the food store here. This gives us storage for food, which allows us to feed our animals. And it seems like people are actually using our bins, which is very, very important. Remember guys, don't litter, because littering is for the weak. If you litter, then you are a weak person. Anyway, so now we can go and get ourselves some animals. So let's have a look over here at the London Zoo. And we can trade it for geese, for grass. We can also see here, these are still for the grass habitat. But I believe we can go ahead, let's get ourselves a new rabbit then. But it probably wouldn't be good for the desert enclosure, because the desert enclosure is for deserty animals. So instead, let's get a new rabbit for our enclosure here, which should get us another animal for this quest, as well as getting us more visitors for the quest that we have. However, we also need to make sure that we have guest facilities as well. Because it isn't just our staff which are which need to have this stuff. So we're gonna make a hot dog shop for our guests, as well as a nice little sign up here-ish, or maybe like a zoo map to be viewed at somewhere. I don't exactly know where I want this to be, but it's fine. Next, of course, we need to get our floor tiles and kind of drag it across here, so we are still having that grey brick aesthetic all the way across. Because obviously this is a food place, we're going to need to get some benches, because people like to sit down and eat food from what I'm aware. So let's put ourselves down some benches here, as well as a nice green bin to face that way. Let's also get ourselves a street lamp to put just there next to it all. And then finally, saving game. Wow. Profit today, minus 1,358. I am losing money very quick, but I want it to look nice. There's a new animal variant available in the shelter today. Interesting. But let's put ourselves down a tree, and that should be a nice general little area for us to sort of have for guests to have food. We also have a restroom up there, so that's all good. That's all settled, and we are also going to get our rabbits in there soon, hopefully. So let's put ourselves in a new rabbit as well, because we need that. So let's select an enclosure, and let's use all the space, as much space as we possibly can, to get our animals in there. So we can also build a gift shop to earn more revenue from our visitors. There's a VIP in our zoo. What? Occasionally VIPs will enter your zoo. You'll be able to interact with them by locating to them and then speaking to them. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to guess that that is our VIP. Oh wait, no, this is our VIP. Do you want to get hands on some rare animals? I can find all sorts of animals. Just ask me where don't ask me where I got it. Who needs ethics and there is money involved? Okay. So I kind of want to go for the moral side of this game. I kind of want to be moral or good. So let's report this person to the police. Let's report. The manager at the local zoo said to have reported an animal trader to the police, which I did. Traders like this one often take endangered animals away from their natural habitats and sell them to the highest bidder. Illegal poaching has brought many endangered animals closer to extinction, and that is a very serious offence. This trader was taken into custody and is expected to serve time in prison for their crimes. Amazing. So we got that guy out of there, and now we are still doing pretty good on our morality. So we have a 7 in our morality for business, which is good. At least it's good for me. Do rabbits I don't know if rabbits actually eat carrots. I mean, I assume they do because they're vegetables, but please do correct me in the comments below if I do have that wrong. And now we're going to put a bit more effort into making our park look nice, and we're going to put a nice green bin facing this way so that we have the coverage there. And we also can't forget about the lights, because lights are very important because they allow you to see. Wow, who would have guessed? I feel as though it would be important to get ourselves another enclosure, but we have the desert enclosure, which isn't really doing much. Let's have a look at our tasks. No tasks and 100 visitors. We can actually research our research some stuff because we have a lot of research points, which is pretty good. So let's have a look at what we're able to get. So we can get the animal enrichment of a trampoline. So you can give a trampoline to our rabbits. I'm sure that won't go wrong. We can get a nursery, some cotton candy, a new floor pack of using stone, but I kind of like the brick aesthetic that we have now. Subways. We don't really have a large zoo at the moment, so I don't think we should focus into that. I think instead the most important thing would be our animal enrichment, so let's go ahead and let's get ourselves the enrichment pack of these small balls. And now we can get penguin bins. That's kind of cool, so you can like design it with penguins. We can also get some more potted plants. I think we should get the potted plants because I like plants. And let's also go ahead and get ourselves some trees up here. And it seems like we've unlocked the slushy shop. So let's get ourselves that, so that our guests have something to drink. And I think we should save for maybe going for these, like the crop seeds and stuff. But yeah, I think that's perfectly fine for now. So now we should have a few more trees available, or like potted plants. Yeah, look at that. We have some potted plants available. Music is going absolutely ham in the background now. The music is like surprisingly good for like a small little zoo game. I feel like I don't really need those ferns there because they don't really match, and instead I can have like a nice small tree to border it. Maybe a waste of money, but also I think it looks nice having those like kind of trees right at the beginning instead of having like some big huge fern. And it seems as though this has finally arrived. Wow, it took your time. Oh, we can actually speed that up. Okay, I had no idea that we could speed that up. I've just been going at like the normal pace for so long. But we can actually speed this up, and it looks like we're about to complete this task as well for getting our visitors for the day. It's good to complete those tasks because you actually earn quite a lot of money. We actually earn profit today, $28 today in profit, which is good. Animal keeper zoning. Your animal keepers are inefficient, making animals suffer. Create work zones for better efficiency by selecting each keeper and assigning them places to work. Maximize efficiency by sending more experienced keepers to enclosures that are larger and have more animals. Okay, so let's try and figure out where our keepers are. Yeah, so let's zone it. You may have noticed a large number of foreign investors are arriving in the community recently. This is all due to a wonderful new zoo. The seed investor Kathleen Kay is hoping to get more partners on board and has managed to grab the attention of a large number of wealthy individuals. As a result, tour buses full of international businesses people want to see the zoo for themselves are arriving. Miss Lee said this is a great opportunity for diversifying my portfolio. I can also avoid paying taxes at home by putting my money offshore in businesses like this one. I don't really care about the ecological side of zoo, I just need somewhere to hide my money because I'm so rich. I feel like we're gonna assign our keeper, or like our main keeper, to that one. New task. I would love to extend our warmest welcome to you. The people of the city love having a zoo here, and I have personally cleared the land around your zoo for development. If you want to buy more land on Exxon, we're happy to sell it to you. So let's pin this quest as well. I like having the pin quest, and it looks like we were able to reach, but yeah, we're able to get the Animal Picture Club. Due to the growing popularity of the zoo, the mayor has approved plans for expansion. Awesome! So we now actually have room to expand if we choose to. All efforts have been made to reduce red tape and extend a warm welcome to the zoo, fast-tracking the process of buying land, so long as the zoo can afford it. Our mayor is very delighted with the zoo and has enthused by the possibilities that the destination brings in terms of both entertainment and education. I hope that we'll be able to get a world-class zoo in our area and we can proudly call our own, she states. We have yet to hear from the zoo management teams with regards to their expansion plans, but we assume the process will begin in the near future. That is awesome. So now we have given ourselves a zoning sort of thing. So basically our employee can go ahead and do the rabbit stuff. And let's also slow this down because I'm getting very, very confused with all of the icons. So let's also complete this task, so we get some money from that. So we're able to get the 1,000 visitors, and it also looks like our next task is to buy land. But before we buy land, I don't want to do that just yet. The reason why I don't want to do that just yet is because I want to make complete use of as much land as I possibly can. And the first step, of course, will be to give our guests some more facilities and stuff that they can use. So let's make ourselves a slushy shop just down here. Just that. Can we fit that in? We can. Sweet. And let's also hire an employee. And then the floor tiles we can just design as grey brick, as they always have been. Always have been and always will. Just go all the way up there. And let's cover this all in grey brick. I feel like if we have this first section to be specifically for guests, like we can clean it up a bit and we can make it look just a tiny bit nicer and like kind of reorganize. And then we can extend to have it for different animals. I think that could be pretty nice. So all of the guests can kind of get all their facilities and stuff from here, and then we can kind of organize it in a way that we want to. But first, of course, we need to set ourselves up for success, because if we don't prepare, then we are preparing for failure. Let's also get ourselves some more bins so we can have that sort of coverage, because it's going to be more rubbish the more that we build these facilities out. You also need to give ourselves some more grey brick. And I feel like kind of putting a pattern down across here of the benches would be nice. So let's get ourselves some more benches. Where are they? Here they are. So we kind of go 2 benches, and then we do a green bin, and then we do a lamppost, and we do 2 benches again, green bin, lamppost. I feel like that could be a pretty nice way to organize everything. Just get ourselves some of these, and then green bin, and then green bin. And then we go to our street lights, and then we do lamppost. There we go. And then we can also delete that one. We're actually making profit today, 1,103. That's probably from our quests. I'm thinking of opening a transport dealership to sell industrial vehicles and buses. If you would like to invest some of my money, I'll open an account for you and ensure you are the front of the queue when it comes to buying buses to service your zoo. I would like that, actually. So I'll put 500 towards that. Thanks to the investment from the local zoo, Kay Sawyer has opened a transport dealership. He had to say, "I am so happy, not only will I be selling buses to the zoo, I'll also be selling all other industrial vehicles to people in the area." Sawyer hopes to one day expand his business to include other theme park attractions, but for now, looks like Transport Tycoon's business will do fantastically well in the area. Which is great, because now we will have buses available, because I remember reading somewhere that guests weren't actually able to fit in the bus. Which sort of struck me a bit, because obviously guests should be able to fit in the bus, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to show up. So it's nice to have the option now of our guests being able to actually reach our zoo. Of course, next up though, we need to build some more facilities, so let's get to work on that. Let's build ourselves a nice sort of gift stand. I feel like just building it here off the corner would be nice. And then what we can do is we can have that be sort of like an offshoot, I guess. And we can cover all that in tiles, and then we can separate it with benches! Who would have guessed? So you can put a bench there, and then we can give ourselves some nice tall trees. And then we can put I believe it's amenities right here. So let's give ourselves a giraffe, and let's just change it up just a tiny bit. So that we kind of have the options of guests to go either way. I just don't want it to be too crowded, because I hate when zoos themselves are crowded. Like, I would love to go to a zoo, but if they're just too crowded, I usually would rather not go. I also feel like we need to clean this bit up a bit too. Because I feel like there's just too much pollution here. But I think that is okay. I mean, this looks a bit messy, but this bit looks nice, and I'm kind of liking it. However, I would like to replace that with a bench. Just put a nice bench down there. Wonderful. So now we kind of have how we want it to look, but I would like to move this rabbit enclosure elsewhere. If at all possible. Like, I'd like to move the rabbits to like this area and kind of change the location a bit. But for now, this should be perfectly fine, and we should be able to do what we want to do. However, there is a bit of space here, and a thing that I usually do in these parkour games is I like to fill up the space with sort of plants and decor. So we're kind of not just leaving the space there. Perfect! Yeah, amazing. I'm also just take a quick visit to our world map and see if there's anything else we can get. So that's the trade. So red ones are trading, I assume. And then these ones are buying. Ooh, I didn't even notice that one. The Sydney Zoo, so hyenas for that habitat. We don't actually have that habitat yet.